I don't know how you found him in reality, but you're dating Batman. How did you end up dating Batman? Hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood INFP, and today we're going to, of course, be talking about INFP with INTJ. This is going to be a very interesting personality combination, even though, like, I've heard a lot of INTJs apparently like INFPs, which is pretty cool because with the INTJs, what they'll usually do is they may not, I mean, they may go like blunt force up and like capture the INFP, but really what they've probably done is that they've planned something and then they've made sure that the plan flows in a certain way, and that's how they got the INFP, and that's how you're in the relationship. And you even know that their scheme ended up working because you're going to be in such a wonderful relationship that you wouldn't even second guess it to begin with, because you don't know what the plan was, you don't know what they did to attract your attention, you don't know how long they worked on it and how far into the future they saw that relationship with you going. Have you seen The Secret Life of Walter Mitty? Okay, that's more on an INFP's perspective. But I digress. They'd have the plans into actually putting into reality those things that would allow them to achieve what they are going for. If you are their goal, they will find a way to get you. And by get you, I mean date you. So you've ended up with a relationship with them. And this is kind of like one of those relationships where it could very well be very psychological, very philosophical type of relationship, because the INTJs love deep conversations, and so do the INFPs, and so they could be having those kinds of conversations for hours, and they likely will be having those types of conversations for hours, and if you can't keep up, you're going to be completely lost as to what the both of them are talking about, because they're just going to be like going right at it. And they are going to be the type of couple that is also going to be very future focused, but also very futuristic. If you were to come across another geeky couple, this would be it. This would be the one that would probably put the INFP with the INTP to shame, although the INTP might contest that. It'll be an interesting fight to see which one's more geeky, the INFP with the INTJ or the INFP with the INTP. But I digress. This is going to be one of those things where there's also going to be like a lot of futuristic types of technology and secret rooms everywhere. It would be amazing because the INTJs would have secret rooms there, and then you could have an epic Nerf battle of epic proportions, which the INTJ is going to be totally down to do. At least that's in my fantasy world and where I'm seeing this relationship going. I never said that these relationships would be completely realistic, now did I? But I digress. In this relationship, you're going to be dealing with the INTJ planning things out for the future, and they'll probably have already planned out like contingencies for those future plans. If one future plan goes awry, they've got a plan for the other plan that has a plan for that plan, without has a plan for that plan. And hey, it's like, a DM who needs a bunch of plans for whenever the party eventually needs to derail the plot line. The INTJ will have a plan for the 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 plan, to the point where it will seem like they are flying improv, but really they're not. They have plans, and the relationship, no matter where the relationship is going, the INTJ can perceive it much like the INFJ, but in a very different way. It's mostly because the INTJ has planned for every possible outcome, and whatever happens is like, okay, cool, this happens, so I will go with this plan, because this plan didn't work, so I'll go with this plan, and then this plan will have these plans, and if one of these plans works, we're going to go with this plan. I mean, I could be completely wrong with my assessment here, but the INTJ is also never, ever, 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 ever going to let the INFP know that they have all these plans already tucked away somewhere, probably on a floppy disk, because, nobody uses floppy disks anymore, so nobody will know to go looking into a floppy disk. So thus, that would be the perfect place for the INTJ to have one of their plans is put into a floppy disk that goes into an old computer that is not at home, but is in fact in a different location, so nobody can actually really know what those plans are, because nobody really uses floppy disks anymore except for the INTJ and other people like him who are into the old vintage stuff. So, due to that, they will, help the INFP achieve greatness, typically. They will also get away with murder if anybody hurts the one that they love, which would be, in this case, the INFP. And the INTJs are notoriously known, stereotypically so, as the ones you go to if you need to bury a body or if you need to kill a person, and they will know how to get away with it too, because once again, they've got a plan for that. On the other side, the INFP is going to bring out the INTJ's, I guess, looser side, if you will. They're more, show them a different perspective, show them more about themselves, which the INTJ would be like totally about. When the INFP like starts talking about things about the INTJ, the INTJ is going to be like enraptured by the conversation, because the INFP is going to be telling them things that they didn't even think about, and they're going to be absolutely fascinated and excited about it, and they're going to want to hear more. And then the INFP is going to feed them, cookies and hot cocoa or whatever it is that the INFP wants to do. And the INTJ is going to be like super stunned by that, because, most people think that INTJs are somewhere in the dark basement looking after everything. And, maybe they are, but, the INFP knows where that secret basement is. They're like, one of Batman's sidekicks who comes in and knows exactly where the Batcave is. Or, they're like the Flash, who is able to locate the Batcave and hang out with Batman. The thing is that INFPs know where their secret location is, and nothing is actually safe from the INTJ, because the INFP has actually figured out the INTJ's part, but the INTJ has figured out the INFP's part. And so it's become kind of a game of cat and mouse as to who can figure out whose secret's better. But really, it's going to be the INTJ, because the INTJ has already planned for this, and the INFP has no expectation that the INFP has already planned for this. And so it's going to be like this fun little game for the INFP to try and figure out a plan that the INTJ has not planned for. There's a conspiracy at foot. Speaking of conspiracies, this is also definitely one of those couples that could be very big into conspiracies. And even if it is just to laugh at the conspiracies and like listen to conspiracy podcasts and you just talk about them, which they might end up doing a podcast talking about the conspiracies in a kind of hilarious philosophical way. Because, for some reason, INTJs tend to be interested in those things. I haven't figured out fully why yet, but would be definitely that couple where conspiracies are afoot and everything has a deeper meaning. Because, of course, everything has a deeper meaning. Everything we do has a meaning that attaches to something else and causes a butterfly effect, don't you know? And then with a butterfly effect, one thing you do here is going to affect one thing over there, and that thing over there is going to affect that thing over there. And even if you think you're just doing something inside the house, you're still going to affect something happening outside or not happening outside. And it's all one big thing that, depending on our actions, is going to cause the consequences.